Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of STSL Off the Track, and it is now week 23 of the Monster Truck season. Funny how I didn't say Monster Jam, even though they did have a show last weekend. But in general, right now, until World Finals 8 is Monster Trucks, up in basically the whole entire area. So for this week today, we don't have a lot to talk about, but we do have a lot of reveals that happened this last weekend after this latest episode. Literally just the day after. We're gonna get all through that later here today, but we're gonna start off introducing our guest for tonight, starting off with Nafagen.
That is right. Monster Jam returned for a few arena shows this past weekend and a lot of more great exciting events in the monster truck industry, and looking forward to reviewing it all.
And also here with us today, he sounds a little bit sick today, but he's gonna try and push it, make it for the best for you guys, even for the on his end for the live on his YouTube. Hello, guys. Right now it is Dorzy.
Yes, sir. As you can see, I've been sick for the last 4 days with a sinus infection. But besides that, we're here back again talking about trucks.
And here with us this week is Zacher.
It is good to be back. I'm excited to review all of the news and everything that we got this week.
All right, and before we usually do that, of course, we still have sports going on. Most likely, well, pretty much just a few things. Nafagen, what's going on with sports lately? To the monster trucks, we have quite a lot to review because we have so many things to talk about. Quite a lot of reveals. If I can switch over my screen in just a moment, there we go. So what do we want to talk about this time? Well, actually, do we want to get to the shows first? Because we have one guy here that went to one. Do we want to get to that first? All right. So we're going to start off with these shows from last week. Of course, we're going to start off with Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Go on Fire. I believe literally actually, no, you're the second
Is
person
this
in
the
this.
first time you're kicking off the monster truck segment with Hot Wheels?
This is, I believe, the
I'm
second.
honored. Oh, darn
Because
it.
I think Navigen also started it the first,
No.
like literally, I think this
Lame.
is the second time this season.
Oh.
Sorry. But
Yeah.
the floor is yours from Sioux Falls.
So it was my first time ever seeing Hot Wheels monster trucks live anywhere. And I talked with a bunch of my friends leading up to the weekend, and we're like, what to look out for, and because Hot Wheels doesn't really have the best reputation in our community. Wouldn't you guys agree? Like, compared to all the other promoters out there, it's obviously we're not the target audience. It's aimed towards like 10-year-olds, but yeah, I was
Performance-wise, I guess.
definitely, yeah, like I enjoyed it a lot more. I enjoyed the entire weekend a lot more than I ever thought I would be. Like I was really surprised. But yeah, I'll get into the results here. Clint Watson. Or no, I suppose I should say the lineup first. It was. Let me see. It was Thomas Borders in Bigfoot 50th. Clint Watson in Bone Shaker, Eric Swanson, Gungster, Joe Cipher, Hot Wheels 5 Alarm, Misha Ferris, Mega X, Mike Phelps, Skelosaurus, and Mike Mentor in Tiger Shark. Clint Watson in Bone Shaker had himself a weekend. He won wheelies in all three shows and ended up taking home the Champions Cup in all three shows. So yeah, show one results. Bone Shaker won wheelies with a score of 23. Bone Shaker, he also took donuts with a score of 24. Mike Mentor and Tiger Shark took home long jump and then took home freestyle with a score of 24. And like I just mentioned, Bone Shaker took home the Champions Cup. Show two was my favorite of the entire weekend, and my cat just crashing into stuff. That's cool. Anyways, yeah, show 2 was my favorite show of the entire weekend. Bone Shaker took home wheelies once again with a score of 24. He also took home donuts with a score of 24. Skelosaurus got his first win of the weekend in long jump. And then Bone Shaker, again, took home freestyle. Or no. No, or yeah, wait, yeah. Yeah, Bone Shaker had a 24 in wheelies, 25 in donuts, and then a 24 in freestyle, and took home the Champions Cup with a score of 94 out of 100 points. And then show 3, which this was the show my parents tagged along to because they wanted to see what it was like. And it was show 3, the final show of the weekend, was probably my least favorite of the weekend. Long jump was kind of not good compared to the other 2 shows, and then freestyle was all right. Tiger Shark went out last and broke on his second hit. So that was kind of a dud, kind of a not a good way to end the weekend in my opinion. But yeah, results for show 3: Bone Shaker took wheelies, Skelosaurus took home donuts, which I thought Bone Shaker kind of got robbed there, but they both had really good donuts. Skelosaurus had a score of 24. Bigfoot took home long jump. Bone Shaker once again took home freestyle with a score of 24, and then with a score of 96, Bone Shaker took home the Champions Cup. So yeah, I really enjoyed the shows this weekend a lot more than I thought I was going to. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. I finally got to experience Hot Wheels for the first time. Which I mean, you said you didn't really mind honestly, because right now Hot Wheels is actually not being the worst show anymore. Right now, it's actually going to Renegade now. Uh, but like in general, like, do you really think that actually kind of beats Renegade, as in like terms of, you know?
I'm the wrong person to ask. I've never been to a Renegade show, but I mean, everybody makes fun of Renegade because of the videos that go viral. But
Yeah,
I think
I've only been to
sorry,
one.
go ahead.
I was gonna say I've only been to one Renegade show, and that was like 3, 4 years ago. So it was a completely different time than what's going on now.
Yeah, I think the thing that helped me the most is I went into the weekend with zero expectations. Like I kind of knew what to expect, but at the same time, I was gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm glad I did because I really enjoyed all the shows. I mean, there were some parts of it that kind of felt like a drag, like um, but once you got past that, it was really good.
And that's exactly what people need to do is walk in there with no expectation. Of course, you want to have some, but like I did that exact same thing for the Foxborough MetLife show because of the rain, and then it turned out to be 2
Yeah,
very solid shows.
exactly. And I wish more people, like within our community especially, like they would go to these shows with low to none low to not any expectations, like because then I feel like if you go into a show with zero expectations, you are more likely to have a good time. You know what I mean?
I guess you can say the same thing can be said. I don't want to get off topic, but for those that have been around the monster truck industry for a while and they talk about the glory days of crush cars and smashing stuff and all that, that can kind of be applied to the situation because, they did want to see that kind of stuff, but it's a new era of monster trucks. and Monster Jam as well. So maybe having that kind of mindset can really help you to appeal to the newer era of Monster Jam or Monster competition as well, because both generations, they both provide their own set of highlights. So yeah.
And
I
one thing I
really.
did like differently, sorry.
Oh,
Um,
you're good. Go ahead.
one thing I did like differently is I did like the long jump competition because it's that is the one competition that is exclusive to Hot Wheels. I mean, and the yesterday's show was kind of a dud, but it was still I still enjoy seeing different monster truck competitions, you know, and yeah, it was nice to see a little bit different of a format for a monster truck show than what I normally do.
Yeah, Hot Wheels is like a very interesting take on the sport itself. Like you said, long jump is probably like the most different competition that they ever have from. Because I mean, if you look at it, every other show now has like the same format as Monster Jam's doing, either arenas or stadium. They do it with the racing, the skills,
Sorry, my bad. I forgot to hit
uh,
mute.
where everyone's doing racing skills or freestyle. So for skills, some of them call them best trick or wheeling competition. Hot Wheels, however, doesn't have any racing, and everybody wishes they still did. But I mean, if it wasn't for them doing literally anything else other than racing, like I don't know where they would be at now. The one thing everybody just wishes that they would just drop the gimmicks because they're not really working. The glow was cool for a while. The fire effects, quote unquote, aren't
It kind
really
of
all
hurts my
that.
eyes sometimes,
Yeah, I
but
like even when they did the
like
light
I
shows.
still did kind of like it because it is different.
Yeah, like the glow stuff is cool. The fire isn't all that much, but the light show, it's also like it kind of affects some people too. I know it affects cameras too. So
Yeah,
if they could just drop that, do it under normal lights, better for the drivers to
yeah.
see.
Like
Yeah,
when I was recording, like I would try to take some action shots, but they would just be blurry because of the lighting. It was just
yeah,
kind of weird, but
even
yeah,
for my first Hot Wheels show, they the lights almost damaged my phone's camera.
really.
Which yeah, really. So yeah, I'm like, that's. I mean, Hot Wheels can be better. It can still be better. It's just they gotta drop the
At the
gimmick.
same time, like it's nice to have a break from Monster Jam's format,
Yeah,
since
yeah.
Monster Jam's
I
like our
mean,
main.
I also kind of wish the pacing for Hot Wheels was a little bit faster. That's what I do kind of
I
wish.
I definitely agree. Like
Like the pacing for
intermission,
Hot Wheels.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
the pacing for
I
Hot Wheels,
agree.
I'm gonna go throw in 2x with this. Both our pacings have got to be a little bit faster because freestyle motocross shouldn't be that hard to set up, honestly.
Even
But
if you have like 10 people helping, like it, yeah,
even 2x, like their stuff is literally set aside from the main track. They still take like 10 minutes to set up, 10 minutes to tear down. And they take more time, sometimes more than that. But on that, yeah, that's really my 2 cents.
yeah,
All
I
right.
definitely agree.
All right. So next up, the shows we also had from this past weekend, we had Straight Up Racing in Cottage Grove, Oregon, Monster Madness in Charlottetown. Oh, Katie told me last week and I already forgot, but they were in Charlottetown, Canada. Sydney. Oh no, I'm so bad with the provinces. I'm so sorry, guys. Uh, Also in Canada, I really don't remember all the Canada provinces.
If it's NS, it's Nova Scotia.
Yes, it is.
NB
Thank you.
NB is New Brunswick.
What was PEI again? I think you might remember.
Prince Edward's Island,
Yes, thank
I
you.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, Prince Edward Island.
I'm so bad at remembering the provinces
Is
there.
it
I'm
true that
so
the King and Queen of England still own Canada? Sorry, my
Current?
ADD.
Wait, hold
So
on. The current ones or the
I
other
think so.
ones, like the older ones? Because if it's the older ones, then I think that would be done by now, or way back.
I have no
Because
idea.
I don't even know honestly, but I don't think they do. Next up, we have Monster Trucks Maniac in Shreveport, Louisiana. This lineup includes Bustin' Loose with Alan Pizzo. Oh boy, this is the first reveal of all time. Crazy Heifer, a new
The name
Crazy
of all.
Bull
Yay!
So did they
Nophagen.
change it because of the Nitro El Toro Nitro thing?
I have no clue. I think so. But I really don't know. But Nophagen, you actually have more insight on this. So, what's the story around Crazy Heifer?
All right, so the newest bull on the block. Originally, that truck was El Nitro Toro, and it has been transformed into Crazy Heifer, which is the monster truck destruction bull. It's one of the newest trucks on the game, and my gosh, when I got to see this truck, it was an absolute dumpster fire. My gosh, what are they doing with this truck? I mean, the video game version, I don't even know what is going on. I don't know whose idea it was, and the real life version doesn't help that much. It's no, no, absolutely not.
I mean, one thing kind of is for sure is that Monster Truck Destruction is slowly starting to make a comeback to the real scene. If you'll remember, it made a thing in 2019 or 2020 when it was a real promotion for like a minute. Uh, yeah, this one's weird. They do almost have it accurate to the one in the game. Uh, I don't think the real truck has the tongue sticking out like the one in the game does, but they do have the horns pretty accurate. Um, they in the game they have the ears, and the real one I for sure don't think so. But they're gonna probably do some monster mode like floppy ears if they do add those. But this is crazy. What are we doing? And this comes from the King Crunch team as well.
Oh my gosh! Out of all the trucks from MTD that you could have made into real life, you can't just get like a Gravedigger body and turn it into Grim. You can't take a flippin' Iron Man body and turn it into Marvelous. Nah, this is the truck that they made. Crazy Heifer, small cow. That's what they made.
The greatest truck of all time. Next up, we also had a King Crunch and Dylan Fenley. Oh, sorry, talk about Crazy Heifers. Sorry, now we're still on the topic of MTD. It was just leaked that we're getting a Son of a Digger.
Oh God.
What's it called?
Son of
Yeah,
Yeah,
Grim.
Son of
you know,
Grim.
you know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Are you
Son of
serious?
Yep.
yeah.
Oh,
Dre, I need that picture
Only
too.
except for like the Willys hood, we're getting like a skull hood, kind of like the one that was on the Texas trucks back then. We're getting something like that, and it looks awful. It looks even worse than like the zombie ripoff.
Oh no, that's even worse.
Monstrosity.
Yeah, MTD trucks probably should not see the light of day. They should stay on a truck. I mean, on a video game, and a video game only. They should not actually see the light of day.
Like the
We
only
actually should do
the
an
only
episode on.
good trucks is the Maximum Destruction ripoffs. I
Yeah,
will say those
and
two are
there's
pretty
two of
good.
them.
Yeah,
Monster Destruction.
yeah. Maximum
Yeah, like
Retribution.
Yeah.
yeah, and
the
that's funny
names
because
of all
they still
time.
have the license. They still have the licensed Bigfoot trucks. They haven't even probably put in the new ones, have they?
I don't think so.
Oh. But anyway, yeah, MTD trucks should not see the light of day, and Crazy Heifer should be the only one and the last one. Next up, we also had King Crunch, which talking about MTD will be making its debut soon, with Dylan Finley behind the wheel. Pouncer with Alan Pizzo and Predator with Brandon Pizzo. Next up, Monster Truck Bash in Findlay, Ohio, amped up Ryan Holman, Godzilla, Josh, and Ryan Holman, playing hooky with JR Seasock and Rescue Racer. with Josh and Ryan Holman as well. Full throttle monster trucks. They were in two different towns. First off, they were in Walton, Kentucky. This lineup included American Outlaw Brandon Overmeyer, Bugzilla Randy Barton, Country Strong Eric Howe, Who's Your Daddy Chris Rogers, Relentless Bryant Rogers, and Stomper with Dalton Vance Giok. I believe that's how it's pronounced. They were also in Campbellsville, Kentucky. This one includes Bigfoot with Roger Gager, Who's Your Daddy Chris Rogers, High Roller 3 Colton Kaiser, and Relentless with Brian Rogers. Monster Spectacular in Red Deer, Alberta, I believe. Black Stallion Mike Waters Sr., Crude Behavior Jared Vogel, Overkill Evolution Mike Waters Jr., Roughneck with Jason Court. And then we also had the Legends of MonsterTrucks.com in Walla Walla, Washington. Lineup includes Aftershock Donnie Hebert, Anubis Jared Compton, Lone Wolf Stanley Hernandez, Temporarily Insane Donnie Hebert, and USA 1 with Skylar King. Cedar City, Utah. They had a few. Okay. This is the next reveal. So originally, Devastator was part of this lineup. Aaron Basil is behind the wheel. He is driving Devastator. However, they decided to bring on Nightlife out on a return debut in Cedar City, Utah, which is awesome. The body looks absolutely great. What did you guys think on that?
It looks really cool, just like you said. Love it. Love the body style. It's pretty sweet.
I love the red and gold on it. Looks really awesome.
100% no comments.
Yeah, last time we saw the Nightlife monster truck was back in the TNT Unfinished Business event back about 3 years ago. So in Cedar City, the trucks that were here were Misfit, Gabe Montoya, Monster Moose, Ryan Robinson, Nightlife, Aaron Basil, Rat Attack, Jacob Ladwig, and the veteran with Tyler Groth. Swedesboro, New Jersey saw
Tyler Groff, my goat.
2X monster trucks were in Swedesboro, New Jersey. Bounty Hunter with Jimmy Crane, Jekyll and Hyde, Corey Keinel, Ron Rex, Logan Tweedy, and Sharkbite with Dan the Man Dahlgren. Overdrive monster trucks in Lexington, Virginia. Bad News Travels Fast with Brandon Durrell, Crime Time, Brittany Ames, Culture Shock with Preston Perez, and Virginia Giant with Cliff Val. Renegade Monster Trucks in Frederick, Maryland. Lineup included Kamikaze with Cliff Turner, Hurricane Force, Stephen Thompson, Shredder, Zane Ritu. Oh, welcome back. Fitting. Yeah, it is just fitting. Stinger Unleashed with CJ Ritu. Velociraptor with Carson Williams, and War Wizard with RJ Turner, who I believe had just celebrated a birthday recently. I think it was on Saturday. Or am I wrong? I don't know. It's been a long one. Next up, All-Star Monster Tour in Bangor, Maine. Lineup includes, oh my god, this one's fun. Crush Station with Greg Weichenbach, as if anyone remembers what happened last year in Maine.
Oh boy.
In two different shows. Exactly. And Max is not here for this one. Excavator with Gage Bursey behind the wheel. Crazy Train Tryon Robbins, Lumberjack with Zach Wickenbach. Playing Crazy with Montana Robbins, and Tolosaurus Rex with Tyler Morecombe. That was in Bangor, Maine. And next up, we have the Monster Truck Mayhem in Joliet, Illinois, in the Dirt Oval Route 66. This lineup was a banger of a lineup. We saw, and actually, I believe this is the first time this year Jim Kohler uses a Monster Jam body outside of the Monster Jam events, and he used it for an independent show. I'm
surprised he was able to do it.
I know.
Me too.
I'm like, please use his body for this weekend when he comes to the Speedway up here. He used the Black Widow body. Of course, that was the Spin Master based body they did last year. And that, of course, that was Avenger, the Black Widow body, with Jim Kohler behind the wheel. Axe was Joe Foley. Brutus with John Kohler. Cyber Attack, Jared Smith. Dirt Crew, Jerry Beck. Excuse me. Frostbite, Kylie Kent. The Haymaker, Brett Falvey. And Mayhem with Chris Kohler, which is fitting enough because the promoter is called Mayhem. Of course, I believe Mayhem actually got the championship from this show. But let's talk about the racing track they had for this
Did
show
you guys
actually.
see that
So they
video of Joe Foley's sidewall save, and then Jared Smith went around him and ended up going in the wrong
the
lane?
other lane, yeah.
It's pretty funny, I thought.
Uh, the racing track they had here was the figure eight. It's not like Monster Jam's figure eight. This one's a full figure eight. They both start side to side. It's literally video game like. They both start side to side. They race side to side the entire way. But they have to stay on their lanes. And like Joseph mentioned, Axe had a sidewall save around the second turn or after the second turn, right as they cross the middle. Cyber Attack goes onto the other lane where he was supposed to be from, and I believe he got disqualified from that run. And I guess Axe, even though he blew up the motor, won that race. But I don't know what the rest of the outcomes were from that show. But the A track the eight track, the eight, a figure eight
Figure eight
track. Sorry.
racetrack.
Yeah, I got you. Yes, thank you. Figure
You're
eight
welcome.
racetrack actually kind of cool. It was just a little bit messy, especially from that one race. But Joliet, Illinois saw an awesome show. Next up, this show wasn't really talked too much about. I guess like every other year, actually is kind of like the Virginia Beach show this year. It's just every year they know it's gonna happen. It's just they don't talk about it as much. This year, Miami, Oklahoma saw the MAP Motorsports make its return. And this also was the debut. Actually, had two different debuts. First off, we had Tim Jones, TMFJ, drive the Monster Blog 20th anniversary body under the tailgater truck. And then we also have Shockwave, who was unveiled on Friday night, ran on Saturday, with, of course, Jamie Garner behind the wheel. But this show also included for the rest of the lineup Aaron Male, Jordan Fisher, Bad Decision, Alec White, Blockhead, Darren Basil, and Crusher Rue, Devin Jones, which also makes its return. Third crew, David Alford, of course, Overboard, Jamie Garner running Friday night. Shaker, Ryan Dishrun, the Righteous Gemstones legend. If you'll know what I'm talking about.
What?
Shockwave on Saturday night. Yeah.
The what?
Righteous Gemstones. Do you know that show?
No.
Okay, so it's a show on HBO Max. Let me tell you. On
Oh,
season
Shaker?
3,
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
as the Redeemer, that's literally like him. Um, yeah, Shockwave on Saturday night under Jamie Garner, Tailgater Trip Jones, Terminal Velocity with John Zimmer Jr., Tim Jones, and the Monster Block 20th anniversary. Uproar, John Zimmer Sr. and Jr. apparently on this list, and Wildside with Zach Garner. Uh, Not much. I didn't get as much results from this show, other than the weather was affecting this show. They had quite a super, not a bit of a super track, but they had a bit of a mud fest going on both nights.
I know like Devin
Last
Jones
night,
won freestyle on like one of the shows. I don't remember which
I
one.
think it was.
Tim Jones won Best Trick, show 2. Yeah, he cross-threaded like a van stack and then ended up on his roof.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I saw that picture actually. But as for results, I actually don't know much of. Other
I
than the
don't
weather that I
remember.
do kind of remember, it affected Friday night show with it had a bit of rain, and then that rain kind of stayed on through Saturday, which affected that track as well. But uh, you know, I don't know what much. I don't know what other to say other than this was another big show that is just not really talked about as much anymore. Last year
Oh,
was big talk.
It's talked about in terms of hype, but like I think once the weekend's over, unless there was like anything like truly memorable, then it just gets all swept away.
I will say the
Unless
Shockwave
unless you
tribute
know
was
somebody
was
who was there.
the Shockwave tribute was definitely the probably the highlight for me. It was
Definitely,
awesome
yeah,
to
that was
see
Oh
that.
awesome.
yeah, yeah. The Shockwave, of course, is like Dorsey said, the tribute to Chris Darnell, who sadly passed away last year in a freak accident.
It
Uh,
was like
Other
two,
than that,
3 years ago.
oh really? Oh wait, was it really?
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's been that
No
long. It's
way.
weird. Yeah.
It feels like last year.
I know
Yeah, it really
it's
does.
weird.
What? No. Wow, time really flies that fast. All right. Damn.
Sorry, Lane. I
Uh,
didn't mean to rain on your parade.
no, you're good. I literally thought it was just last year because I remember the news about it. It lasted like literally 2 whole days, and I was like, this literally was just last year. What? Oh wow. Yeah, someone's gonna keep me up to date sometimes. That's the one thing I also do kind of quickly want to mention about. As soon as it was mentioned that the Monster Blog body was going to be under Tim Jones, I immediately knew that body was not going to survive the whole weekend. Sure
Oh,
enough,
Oh, with
it
Tim
literally did not
Jones?
survive.
No. With Tim Jones, absolutely not.
But he made sure that that body was well worth that money was put into. Of course, big anniversary for the Monster Blog being a big part in the monster truck community for the last 20 years with videos, interviews, shows, all this and that. It's awesome for them. It literally was the inspiration for other things such as more content creators, podcasts. They also, I believe, they have one of their own too. Uh, so yeah, Monster Blog having a big anniversary is big for them. Honestly, great for them. But that's MAP Motorsports from Miami. The last thing before we go for Independence, the Bigfoot Open House was this last Saturday as well. They had a few things out there. They had the return of Wildfoot, which was awesome to see. Bigfoot 8 was on display, Bigfoot number 1 as well. All the other Bigfoots. They also unveiled the brand new Bigfoot 50th anniversary RC, which looks so awesome. I'm not a big RC person myself. I know some of you guys might be. I know Joseph really liked it here.
sorry, what?
The Bigfoot 50th RC.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that Traxxas, I believe. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. I really liked the black and gold color scheme on it.
Yeah, I don't have a picture on.
Brett
I don't
Brett
have a.
just sent me a message. We're getting a wild side Spin Master finally. But
Oh.
it's like orange with and like the front half of it is black. I'll send you guys
What?
a picture right now.
No
Um
way.
What?
Did you just see what just happened?
What?
Playing with wrestling?
Is it Jay and Gunther?
Yep.
And this
What
is
happened?
when we
Did he
get
win?
off the rails.
Gunther is the new world champion.
Good. Let it go to rest. You know what's the bad part about this? Rikishi's about to start complaining again. But that wild side looks pretty awesome. I mean, it kind of looks cool. I wish they had it just had more
mm,
of the paint splatter like it's supposed to look on the
Is it in
motor
a
truck.
double
But
pack?
it's
No,
no,
it's a
it's
single.
a
I
single.
just sent the picture in a general right now.
I'll see when it's done because I'm currently recording.
Oh, okay.
I don't want
That wild side actually is kind of cool.
to. It'll be shown on the video, but I'm glad we're finally getting the wild side diecast.
We're okay. So this one's actually disappointing, and this is the first time they've ever actually done this. So we're shifting on to Spin Master news. They're re-releasing the 25th anniversary Avenger on a singles.
What?
Yeah,
Where'd you see that?
on the other group chat. I'll send it to you. Yeah, I mean we were missing like two other World Finals Avengers.
That
I
was
don't know
already
why
a
we're.
peg warmer, dude.
Yeah, why are we releasing the 25th? Is my question. We are missing two of them.
Where,
We're missing 22 and 23. Hmm. All
And
right.
we're getting
Anyway, back to the show.
the
bro?
the
We're getting
clown
a
breaks up
re-release of the Series
440.
41.
Oh, of course they're releasing the
Dude,
Bailey
these
circuit,
Spin
Mohawk
Master.
Warrior. Hmm.
We got the Ringling Mohawk Warrior looking thing too.
Straight out of Ohio.
Oh no.
Yes.
No, hold on, I'll send you guys the pictures.
Are we getting re-released El Toro Loco in this mix?
Basically, yes.
Oh wait, without the BK18 print. What? Oh my god. Okay, we're getting a semi-accurate Thunder Wars for once.
Gravedigger training truck because it looks different. It looks like a brownish gray.
Mhm. Yeah, we got semi-accurate
Man, these last two
Megalodon,
Spin Master
Dragon,
trucks or
Thunder.
Spin Master cases that have been like leaked are garbage. Like I'm not getting any of those except the Gravedigger training truck, which I'll probably never find.
Well, back to the show. Other than that, Bigfoot Open House was another big event, like every other year. Big return for Wildfire. I didn't see as much anything. The weather did affect this show. This event as well. There's a lot of weather going on through the Midwest. But other than that, we're gonna move on to the jam show, the only jam show we had this past weekend, and talk about other reveals before we get to the bigger ones to end off the show. We had they had an 8-month project for the Northern Tool builds, the 1/3 scale. I believe it was 1/3 scale mini monster truck. It's not disappointing. It is okay, and they did a good build. They did do a good build, I will say. But it is just like a regular old car truck thing. But other than that, that was the smallest reveal, ironically, uh,
Hmm.
for Jam, which literally took 8 months to build. But it comes from the Bryan High School in Austin, Texas. Which talk about this next show Jam had was Austin, Texas, in the Moody Center for 2 shows this last weekend. Of course, the lineup for this show included the return of Alex Barden in Earthshaker, Armando Castro El Toro Loco, Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger, Tim Hall Jr. running the normal green and blue Jurassic Attack. Excuse me. Ashley Sanford, Megalodon, Monster Rottweiler, Berto Trevino, Thunder Warriors Colt Stevens, and Velociraptor Devin Winfield. So we're going to go through the first show Saturday evening. Your racing, JCB Racing winner, timed racing, being exact. Devin Winfield, Velociraptor, took the win. Two wheel skills goes to the champ himself, El Toro Loco. Freestyle goes to Ashley Sanford and Megalodon, but the overall goes to El Toro Loco. On to show 2, your racing winner is Gravedigger, and to basically save time, she swept the entire show herself on show 2. She took the skills, the freestyle, and the overall. Perfect event for Miss Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger, which we'll talk about her in just a moment here. Which actually, that's going to be right now because, as literally Dorsey mentioned last week, literally the day after the latest episode dropped, they began revealing new schemes or bodies, I should say, for the Gravediggers. Of course, the week before we did talk about Ultra Loco Stars and Stripes, Yellow. We also had the there's a few other reveals. I actually can't even remember off the top of my head anymore. But let's talk about those trucks. Actually, we do a few other ones that we have to mention after the Gravediggers as well, because one of them is actually a whole brand. First off, we're going to start off with Matt Cody driving Gravedigger Stars and Stripes, who will be in the LCQ. We already did talk about that. However, we're going to move on to the other ones. The first one that was actually unveiled was Kristen Anderson's Gravedigger Grandma. Will be returning for Monster Jam World Finals, but for the first time actually is going to be in competition. So I know you guys were excited. I know we're going to save Zachar for the other one he really likes. I actually want to start off with Nofigen. What do you think on this return for Grandma Gravedigger?
It's pretty sweet. Grandma Gravedigger's been a staple in the history of the Gravedigger truck, and it's especially become a favorite in encores since it was introduced in 2012, and then used again in the other anniversary encores after that. But finally getting to see it in competition, it's pretty sweet, and we'll see how Kristen Anderson could do behind the wheel.
All right, Dorsey, what were your thoughts on this unveil?
I think it was awesome. It makes perfect sense to have Grandma Gravedigger under Kristen Anderson. Even though it's controversial of her making it into the World Finals, it's still cool to see the truck. And yeah, that's basically it for me.
I saw her drive it in the Gravedigger Encore back in 2017, and it's kind of a little bit of a full circle moment. Her getting to run it in the main field this time. Because I know with that design being the first truck she ever backflipped in, that's really special that she gets to run that. And
Yeah,
I'm
and
really
the
excited to see what it'll look like in Salt Lake City. Or well, I'm really excited to see it in Salt Lake City.
yeah, very awesome to see. I believe I'm looking here at Jim McShay's art page on Instagram. He worked on the body. Finally posted it once the announcement was made. Uh, One thing that I've seen a few people make their criticisms on is that why does it have to be with the rust effects on? It could have been without it. I personally kind of agree. But
I
the rust
prefer the
effect
Rust
actually
personally.
the rust effect doesn't look bad. It actually kind of looks pretty accurate to the actual one sitting outside Digger's dungeon. Uh, and I like that's gonna go with the stacked logo and not the straight one. They're gonna go with the stacked logo, which I actually think is pretty cool. Uh, Looking at the body here, it might be like I it looks like it's gonna be the legend body, but it looks like it looks like it
The
was a little
Ford,
reworked on. Yeah, it's a forged panel wagon body. Uh, but honestly, I think that looks pretty cool. Next up, the other one that was revealed the day after, and this one's Joseph's personal favorite. That is Red Primer Gravedigger, the actual original Gravedigger from 1982, and of course, none other than behind the wheel will be Weston Anderson behind the wheel. And Joseph, your thoughts on this,
dude.
buddy?
Okay, I don't know why, but for some reason, Red Primer Gravedigger is probably my favorite Gravedigger body. I don't know. I don't know why. I just it just is. I love that it's a different that it's kind of an old pickup body instead of the normal panel vans we're used to seeing. And I got to see the Red Primer Gravedigger for the first time back in 2022 at the Gravedigger's 35th anniversary encore. But getting to see it in competition for the first time ever is going to be insane. It's like I was kind of considering it a little bit of a birthday present because World Finals is on my birthday, but getting to see that uh Primer Gravedigger ran in competition for the first time is going to be awesome. I'm so excited. I'm glad Weston is behind the wheel and he's going to destroy it. I know it. But I don't care who's behind the wheel. I'm just happy that we finally get to see it ran in an actual competition.
All right. And Dorsey, your thoughts on Red Primer?
I think everything that Zachary just said is 100% accurate. It's going to be awesome to see the Red Primer in competition for the first time ever. Weston is 100% the correct choice for this truck. And yeah, seeing Gravedigger in a pickup truck style body for the first time in Monster Jam competition, you can't beat that. And it's also the original.
Can I say one more thing? Like obviously the black and green panel van is iconic and it forever will be. And there's a ton of other body styles, but I don't know, something about the red pickup style body to me just looks awesome. And that's not to take away from the regular black and green bodies that we've seen, but I'm just excited we're finally getting something that's different.
And Nafijan, your thoughts on Teeny Man's truck?
It's awesome to see him finally in competition with the Red Primer. he's going to absolutely tear it up.
All right. I, for one, do absolutely love this idea. We'll talk about the other thing that's concerning around all three of these bodies, but I, for one, love the idea that they're going to bring out Red Primer. They could have done this for the 40th anniversary, but I mean, they were still after COVID, and they brought it up just for the encore jump, which of course Gravedigger 35 jumped right over them. But for the first time in competition, and especially in World Finals, could have asked for a better time to do that. The last couple 2 years, we had, of course, the colored Gravediggers, which Weston had the orange Gravedigger, which is reference to his bog hog mega truck of tongueful there. But awesome to see Red Primer come back for the first time ever in a while, actually. And then the next up, we were all hoping that this man would get it, and we were all praying that only he would get it, because he was robbed of paint schemes ever since 2016, the first actual time he would drive Gravedigger full time. Bit of a refresher, back in 2016, of course, Adam Anderson drove the normal Gravedigger while his dad had the chrome Gravedigger that he ran full time, just that 1 year. So Adam Anderson drove just a black and green wrecking machine all the way up until last year, fitting enough with 35. So he only had the normal paint job when everybody else got the colored ones. Like Tyler got the purple one, Weston had the orange, Kristen the pink, Brandon Vincent with the red one. The only time we ever got to see it. But everyone, now with the announcements of Red Primer and Grandma coming back, everyone was hoping that the legend would go to Adam and not Tyler. We'll get to Tyler in a moment, but we got to talk about the legend. The legend is coming back, and it is rightfully going to Adam Anderson. Talk about an awesome reveal. The legend is coming back. I know Zone of Monsters was ready for that announcement because he himself has a Gravedigger the Legend crew shirt, and he was ready to represent that at World Finals. Let's talk about Gravedigger the Legend. So I actually want to start off with Nofogen. What were your thoughts on this?
This is what we wanted, and we got it. It is absolute cinema. Adam Anderson back in the legend. You can't beat it.
Cut into
All right, then.
cut into that Batista meme. Give me what I want, and they definitely delivered. And man, it's been way too long since we've seen this. Gravedigger the Legend, a little hot take here, has been my favorite Gravedigger truck of all time for me. Always loved seeing the silver and blue. For some reason, that paint scheme together has just been awesome. And of course, Adam has been one of my favorite drivers. Still has. And seeing the legend back for, I forgot when it was officially retired. It was 2015, right?
Yeah, I think it's been 10 years.
It's exactly been
Almost.
10 years. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, it was only right to give it back to Adam. And if they didn't do that, they would have dropped the ball.
I agree. Like, shoot, I was just gonna say, what, dang it. Sorry. Go ahead. Um, yeah, I think Adam had kind of a rough year. You know, it was his first year in his new chassis, and for most of the season, it sounded like he didn't really like it. But I feel like this is the great way to kind of redeem himself, and I am seriously pulling for him at this year's World Finals because I want to see him take that truck back to the top again. He won 2 world championships in it. Really am pulling for him to get another one.
Now,
And
so I thought you're done.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't know if this is a hot take. I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but if Adam somehow got a championship in this truck next year, I think we should put him full time in that truck and move Weston up.
I agree. I
That
agree
I don't know.
1,000%. You and
That
then you
seems
can
pretty good.
have Gravedigger, a regular Gravedigger, and Son of a Digger on one tour, and then Gravedigger and Gravedigger the Legend on the other tour. I definitely like that idea. But the other thing I was gonna say is, my first ever Monster Jam show was World Finals 12 back in 2011, and Adam Anderson had one of the coolest moments, in my opinion, from like the main competition. One of the coolest moments. He hit the step up ramp kind of sideways, and then cartwheeled kind of down the backside of it, and then pulled out this amazing save. He ended up breaking his truck and ending his run early, but I've remembered that moment ever since it happened. I was 10 years old. I remember seeing it. At it was one of the greatest saves I have ever seen. And for him to be coming back in the Legend, I don't want to make it about my birthday again, but for it to be on my birthday and to see him back in that truck for the first time since 2011 for me is just insanely special. And I am seriously pulling for him this year at World Finals.
He's been long overdue for a championship again.
Definitely. Definitely. I definitely agree.
So next up, the other Gravedigger we have is the normal Gravedigger with Tyler Meninga behind the wheel. But he did have a video after Adam Anderson's the day after. He talked about how it's actually going to get a update. So I'm glad this is not the late 2010s anymore, and we're all mature enough to realize not everything's going to get a sick paint anymore, especially if it's just a normal version.
Well, most of us are mature enough to realize it. There's still some people that will hate it just because
I
it's
mean, to be honest,
Tyler, you
that
know.
we still have younger fans who are like way like at least 10 year younger, 10 or like 5 years younger than us. And some of them are still teenage. Well, most of them are teenagers, and they are at that point where they hope certain trucks get crazy paint schemes for like a one-time edition, which we've seen that happen. Not gonna lie, we've seen it happen. Gravedigger 25th did get a Chrome special edition, which was used once. Of course, all the other Gravediggers like green, purple, the orange and purple ones from 15 and 16 also got used. But so with Tyler's announcement, he said that it's not going to be a crazy paint. It's just going to be a bit of an update, especially just to the tombstones. So with the tombstone names, right where Adam, Kristen, and Weston are on, they're actually going to update it and put his name and Matt's on there apparently, as well for the other trucks where the tombstones are, the truck tombstones.
We gotta put Pawkin
They're
on
gonna up
there.
those two.
That would be awesome.
They got to get Charlie on there. Yeah, they got to get Charlie on there. All 6 drivers. You can't forget Pawkin. He's an OG.
Talking my goat.
Uh, so they're gonna update the trucks tombstones as well. So I think that's not really gonna be a crazy part as well. I think it's just gonna be normal because there's a few names on there that already are way well expired and retired. I believe they still have Pirates Curse, Blue Thunder, just to name a few on there. I for sure think they're gonna update a few of those tombstones. I hope they keep Max D's on there just because it's already, it was a big thing in their rivalry, especially for Tom and Dennis. They would definitely have to keep the Max D one on there. I know for sure they're going to keep the Mutts. For sure, we can definitely see Sparkle Smash, States to be Digatron, uh, maybe a few other Feld identities that we're going to see at some point. This one's a bit of a long shot, but maybe they're going to update the tombstones themselves just to give it a fresh look. Because I do remember Tyler did say there's going to be a bit of a fresh look on the current paint. But for now, it is confirmed that Tyler Meninga will run the normal black and green wrecking machine as he should. But that was pretty much it for Gravediggers.
I would
It
like
is
to add one
exciting
thing
to see.
to it.
But
I think it's been also long overdue for like a brand new feel into Gravedigger, brand new scheme, something even just little doesn't matter. I mean, everyone hated the new El Toro Loco body when it first got revealed, and then everyone started loving it. So I think
Yeah.
just like this, I think people are going to probably accept it. Hopefully.
Talk about tombstones. Going back to Gravedigger Grandma, the tombstones for this one are absolutely awesome. This one actually mentions Bigfoot. So other than that, it actually
Really?
mentions past trucks. So far on the tombstones that are mentioned are Equalizer, Bigfoot, very well hidden under the rust, but it is very visible too. It's going to be right there. And then you also have Carolina Crusher. I think he even put Jersey Outlaw as one of these tombstones. If I go into the other slide of his pictures here, going on to the right side, he also, yes, he does have Jersey Outlaw. He has USA 1 as well, actually, Equalizer and Carolina Crusher. So Gravedigger Grandma is going to be an exact replica to the real thing. A lot of people are hoping it's going to be. A lot of people were hoping that was going to be a direct reference to the TNT days, the black chassis, the gold rims. Some people are wishing that would still happen, but that's the thing we're about to talk about next. Is that the Gravediggers may be running under the normal green chassis. I don't mind it, but I am also hoping they do change up the chassis at least for this one time, because I know for a few of them are not going to run their trucks for a little while. I know, especially Adam's not going to run for a little while and up until the fall. Kristen may not be running for a little while. Weston definitely for sure isn't until the fall either. Tyler's the only one who's going to be running the normal paint because he has Freestyle Mania immediately right after World Finals. So it's awesome for Gravedigger Grandma to get exact replicated tombstones
Is Stars
like
and
the real
Stripes
one.
gonna be on the green chassis too?
I cannot. I mean, I honestly think it might be, but Matt Cody's schedule, I think, is
He
similar
he's scheduled.
to
I'm seeing
Adam.
him in St. Paul the weekend after World
Okay,
Finals
yeah, they're
too.
gonna definitely have him run the green chassis then.
Yeah, I
That's gonna look
figured as
bad.
much.
Which, yeah, I mean, we already did see a picture on it under
Yeah,
28,
I didn't like it.
and
I do
they
agree
talk
with
about.
you that the green chassis, I'm okay with them for a few trucks. Like I think Grandma's gonna look okay with it. Not the same with the Legend.
Prime
I
the Legend I think will look cool because we did get a diecast of it.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But yeah, primer, the red primer, that's the one kind of downside is I think it's gonna look weird on with the red and the yellow and the green. It's just gonna be kind of weird.
Talk about Stars and Stripes
Quick side
Gravedigger.
note. I am really hoping they have crew shirts for all of these different Gravedigger designs for sale.
Doubt it. I doubt it.
I
I'm sorry, but I'm really doubting they actually will do that. They don't really do
I
one-offs
know, but
for
it's
for
I
finals.
can dream. Leave me alone.
I mean, if you're Jim Kohler, he will. But if you're Feld and you're doing one-offs for finals, I really doubt it. Even though we did get
Yeah,
the Fire and Ice Gravedigger ones, I actually have one myself. It is pretty cool, honestly. But I honestly do kind of doubt. Even though I would like
I
to
know.
see that,
I
but
can
I really
dream.
doubt it.
I I
Um.
really want one, but
So that's the talk about Gravediggers. Quick side note about Stars and Stripes. Actually, no, we'll get to those later. We have more to go. We just finished up the Gravediggers here. Next up, we got to talk about more trucks. We'll talk about. We're gonna switch onto automotives for just a sec because it was just revealed literally just yesterday on Sunday. The Ram was coming back with the Hemi. Uh, Brand new because as we all knew at the end of last year, they completely discontinued the Hemi. A lot of people were disappointed with the choice, and Dodge and Ram took that in consideration. They said, "You know what? We will bring it back. We're sorry for that." And on a cool video that they did, it was like literally quoted in that video. He said, "The same guys who sent me over here to do this with these notes to talk about it, we're not doing that. I was going to tell you, they are straight up back." Which also part of that, Ram is going to come back to the NASCAR series. Uh, of course, will be in the Craftsman Truck Series, which is really, really awesome. I also talk about Rams. That means the Ram Hall Bros trucks get an updated look and a new identity. As you remember, a couple weeks past, we did talk about how Rammunition did its last show with Arena East, and it was going to be retired forever. And that's because, as part of the slogan for the new Hemis, it is a Ramdemption. And so, talk about the new Ramdemption. Kurt Kramer will be behind the wheel. I believe for Athens, Georgia. Actually, that's where it will be debuting. Brand new Ramdemption, of course, with Kurt Kramer, our goat behind the wheel, and this as a look. It ain't much,
The
but
look.
it is a new look. It is a look. I'll say that. What do you
I
guys
will
think
just
on the new Ramdemption truck?
I'll just start because I don't really have a lot to say. The name's okay. The paint schemes, I like both of them, even though we haven't really talked about the other one yet. I don't like the new logos. I think the 3D like on Raminator was so much better, and I think what they did with this and turned it sideways. I'm not a big fan of the new Ram logos at all.
Now, Virgin, your thoughts on the new Rams?
I think it's pretty cool. Okay, next person.
I really like the new schemes. I think the Ramdemption name is kind of a mouthful, but
Yeah, like it really doesn't roll off the tongue just yet, like Rammunition did,
I
or
agree.
Raminator.
Yeah,
Ramdemption's gonna take a little while.
exactly. I was just thinking that it will take a little while for us to get used to saying it, but it was kind of like Thunderoris at first, you know,
Yeah.
like. But yeah, now Thunderoris is fine. But I think within a year or so, it'll Ramdemption will be fine. But I I I do like. I'm glad that the bodies have a little more color to them, especially Raminator. I mean, the gray was pretty cool, but I do hope they are they adding a 3D RAM onto the side of them, or do you,
We don't know that yet. I actually kind of hope they do.
I
Yeah,
hope they
Talk
do
about
as well. Like
talk
that's
about
my
the
only
Ram
problem
Raminator
the
with
was
them.
Ram
weird,
logo.
so
Yeah,
what?
I mean, talk about the Ram logo. I kind of like the new Ram logo itself. I know it's supposed to match the ones that they're going to be staking on the new Ram trucks. Uh, I the placement, however, for the next one is a little bit. It could be fixed. They still have time for it, but I like the new Ram logo. The wording itself, it's okay. Let me be honest about the paint here. For Ram, I was about to say Rammunition. I'll remiss it. Ramdemption. It kind of looks like an inverted hot C. Because it has almost the same flame pattern. It's red and black, where Hot is black and red. This one, it feels almost plain. I mean, yeah, I mean it's nice. It is kind of nice. I like the flame patterns. But it just kind of feels like Hot slammed into or meshed in with Ramdemption. But I thought it looks not bad. I will say it is not bad. And also quick mention, Kurt Kramer, big Mushroom Head fan. Uh, other than that, the next one up is Raminator, and that is getting an updated look as well. And it is not going with the red. It is going with a different color. We've never seen it with. Actually, Rammunition used to have this color. Only they also switched the colors, where it's going to be yellow and black. This one's going to have a different like techno pattern. And of course, it has the same font, the same logo. Where of course the logo placement for the Ram is way down to the bottoms. I'm saying they have time to fix that, unless if they're actually going to go with the 3D RAM, which would be actually pretty cool. But Raminator, yeah. How are you guys feeling on the new yellow Raminator?
I once again have the same opinion. Ran down. Oh, Jesus Christ! See, I can't even say the the new one. What is it? Redemption. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah. I like the paint scheme. I don't know. I'm definitely on like the but not the majority of that. But I'm fine with the paint scheme. Once again, it's the logo for me that I just don't like. The logo is fine. I just wish it was 3D. Is basically what I'm thinking. Like the logo isn't bad. Like what you said, the placement is off, and I just wish it was 3D because that's what the Ram truck used to pop with. You think of that 3D on the side.
Oh, as we're talking about the Ram logo, I think it was the one side where they have it super low. The other side is completely fine. They should just probably make it a little bit bigger. Make the 3D one. But you guys have more opinions towards this truck too. Go ahead.
All I'm gonna say is I really like the yellow.
Black and yellow.
Black and
All right,
yellow.
Nafajin, your thoughts on the new Hall Bros Rams?
We really got a collaboration between Raminator and Batman before GTA 6, and that is wild.
Brother.
Or a collaboration between Raminator and Wiz Khalifa, whichever one you prefer.
Mark Hall seems like the last person who would have Wiz Khalifa as his
Oh,
theme song. Could
definitely.
you imagine, dude? Instead of Metal Health, his next theme song is Black and Yellow. That'd be just weird.
Oh no, I would hate it. I love the song, but not with Mark Hall.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what would make it funny.
Yeah.
if you gave it to Diana Gosh, that would be fun.
Yeah, you know what? I'm fine with that.
But new Ram looks for Ram Demption and Raminator. Of course, Ramination is no longer. That actually kind of leaves a question for Cheech, actually, Danagosh, if he's going to be driving Raminator or Ramination. He's been driving both identities on his own. If anyone remembers, Hall Bros has a third truck out there, apart from the ride truck too. Which the ride truck actually might be getting the updated look as well. But honestly, they're not bad. They could have been a little bit better, but if they slapped the 3D RAM logo on there, sometime probably next year is fine. That would probably just fix it up a little bit to make it look a little better. In terms, it's not bad. They could just do a little bit more with it. Next up, as I was just looking here, we have a few more things to go. We're gonna go next up back again to the Spin Master stuff. We had the reveal of two. We had two double packs revealed, and that is of course the thematic series of Stars and Stripes, a Walmart exclusive series from Spin Master Monster Jam. On the first pack, we've seen Ultra Loco Stars and Stripes, and the next one was Megalodon Stars and Stripes. So, I actually want to take this over to Zachary real fast. Do you had good opinions on that pack? What were your thoughts on it?
I have like a lot to say. One thing, I am getting so sick of every single doubles pack, whether it's a thematic series or not. Every doubles pack, it feels like, has colored tires that don't really go with the whatever color schemes of the trucks. But these ones kind of do, but still, it's too much. I mean, I'm still gonna buy them, but I'm just gonna take the bodies off of them and discard the rest of the truck. Um, but I'm just getting tired of all of the doubles packs having just insanely bright colored tires and cages and bases and everything. And the other thing is the let me find the picture. The Megalodon is missing stars on the roof compared to the real one. And the Gravedigger hood on the 164 looks nothing like the render that we got. This one has blue and white or blue backdrop, white stars for the middle of the hood, and then the fenders on the side are red and white stripes. And I think it ruins that scheme even more. It makes me like that scheme even less. Like the in the render, that black hood with the blue star with the blue and white stars as the flames, and then the red and white stripes in the middle. Perfect. That's my favorite part about the render that we got. But the diecast all feel really rushed. I also do not like the JCB Stars and Stripes that we got. It doesn't look very good. I thought I had a picture of it. Apparently I don't. But I I do not. I do not like the JCB Degatron Stars and Stripes. The El Toro Loco one is probably my favorite. I do like that the Spin Master version is a little bit darker blue, at least from what I could see in the picture. It looked a lot darker blue than the render that we got. But this this first mix of the Stars and Stripes series, it just feels really, really rushed. And I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. I mean, obviously I'm still gonna buy them to make my customs or whatever, but I'm I'm not a fan. It just feels really rushed. Sorry, I went on a rant there. I'm sorry.
All right, Dorsey, opinions on these?
I don't even know if I have any opinions on these, just because, yeah, I don't like the tires, and I don't even know if I'm gonna get them. Like, I'm slowly not getting a ton of Spin Masters anymore. I'm only getting the trucks that I want, and I'm probably not gonna get these.
I'm just gonna throw my 2 cents real fast. The Gravedigger Stars and Stripes. I feel like I've seen that hood somewhere. I feel like I've seen it way earlier this year, and I don't remember when, but I feel like I've seen the prototype to it, and I had no clue it was gonna be this exact. Yeah, I can agree they messed up on the print for the hood, but I mean the actual hood itself looks like it would have been hard to make as well, because the flame pattern with the stars and blue background would have been hard to make. The stripe going down would probably have been a little harder. So it probably was a little easier for them to do just what they did on the toy. ACB looks like what Bobby Cox's attire literally looks like in every 2X show. I'm not even kidding. This literally looks like a Bobby Cox truck. Um, I literally will have to point it out to him when they go to Pueblo and be like, "Hey, why does JCB look like you?" um, and other than that, the Ultra look looks fine. The Megalodon, of course, no, like if they had the roof print, it would have been look fine. But I think I'm like going back to all these Megalodons. I'm like, did they ever really have a roof print? Because I'm starting to think the base paint might be the roof. The sides are the actual print. So it looks fine. They could have done better. The JCB definitely looks like the worst. Next up, so we finally move on to toys, and so we can start wrapping this up. It's starting to get a little bit later. Of course, for our East Coast guys. Next up, we have 2 more reveals, and boy, these are big. Only a few years ago, we've seen this truck get retired. This driver actually go retired until he actually went semi-retired. That is, of course, Kirk Christensen's Dragon Slayer making a big comeback. I can pull it up. There it is. Dragon Slayer making a big comeback this. Wow. Wow. All right, let me get to this. Jeez. Making a big comeback into the monster truck scene with the Hummer body. Of course, this is the one of the original looks. I believe the mid 2000s look with the yellow body. This looks awesome. So what were you guys' thoughts on this? I actually want to start with Novogen.
It's epic. A classic Hummer truck, and it's back in the scene.
Yeah, nothing much to say. I always loved the Dragon Slayer body, and it's awesome to see it back.
It's a perfect modern version on a classic. I love it. Modern spin on a classic, I should say.
And I actually kind of have the toy of this truck. Of course, this one has an updated paint to the original body, which I absolutely love. I did see Dragon Slayer just a few years ago. I'm excited to see it sometime soon, hopefully here in Colorado. Of course, thanks to MT World Media for letting me share your stuff here on the pod. Of course, so on his bio, returning truck alert on description it says returning truck alert as shown via live stream early this morning, which I believe was on Saturday or Friday, I believe. Craig Christensen Motorsports, or also known as Team KCM, will be reviving the Dragon Slayer name with the new generation of Christensen behind the wheel. Caden Morris, grandson of the original creator and driver Craig Christensen, will be picking up the reins of the historic Hummer with a new but familiar paint scheme with many remember from the 2000s. Dragon Slayer, the new generation, is ready to hit the track, and he's certainly excited to see it in action, and so are we all. But awesome news for the Dragon Slayer to come back, and this one is bigger because this one is also a legendary staple in the monster community. A lot of mixed reactions of what I've seen so far. Some people were happy, some people were not really happy, because some people think this driver is not going to let it see a lot of. Is probably not going to let it get a lot of action out in the circuits, but this one probably brings a tearjerker to everyone's eyes, and that is the return of Gunslinger. And it was also announced it was bought by Ricky Fowler. It has a new operator and owner, of course, Ricky Oler, who is the current driver for Zilla, who also was driving a few shows in Monster Truck Wars, I believe driving Sheriff. So, so with the announcement of Gunslinger finally being bought, actually, going into refresher. So I believe I think just last year or half a few months ago, um, it was announced that Gunslinger was bought, but nobody had known who it was. A lot of people were hoping it wasn't Triple B. A lot of people were hoping it was probably Cody Saucier or John Gordon. John Gordon would have made a lot of sense. But I mean, after all, the monster community is one big family, especially for the drivers. Of course, when we lost Scott Hartsock, that was a pretty dark day for everyone in the community, as everyone lost what felt like a family member. Of course, the Hartsocks, you know. But with the announcement of Gunslinger being bought by Ricky Fowler, that was a total shock to everyone. So what did you guys think on this? I actually want to take this back to Nofagen. What were your thoughts on the Gunslinger announcement?
Well, I can care less about who bought the truck. All that matters is that it is back in the monster truck scene. Even if it's just a display, it's awesome to see Gunslinger back at a big staple in the monster truck industry at the Bigfoot open house. It was great for all people to see it.
What he said.
No, I 100% agree with
Lucy?
Knopf said. I didn't care who bought it, besides, Triple B and MT Wars, besides them two. It's
Oh
awesome to
yeah,
see.
Back.
It's awesome to see the truck back out in the open for everyone to see again. It sucks that we lost Scott in an unexpected way, almost 4 years ago now, which is insane to say. And yeah, it's great to see good old Gunslinger back in action.
yeah, awesome to see Gunslinger being finally out. It's getting to see some sunlight in years. And of course, it couldn't have been any better with Ricky Fowler. Good luck to Ricky and his team. Of course, with the Zilla truck and lethal injection. Of course, big good luck to Team Gunslinger, as we will see what their future brings for them. Now we're gonna start closing out the show. It's starting to get very late out here for these guys. We're gonna start off with these shows for next week. We're gonna start off with Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live in Glow and Fire in Billings, Montana. Our lineup includes Joe Cipher, 5 Alarm, Caleb Yanizich, Bigfoot 50th, Bone Shaker, Clint Watson, Eric Swanson, Gunkster, Misha Ferris, Megarex, Mike Phelps, Skeletsaurus, and Mike Manser, Tiger Shark. Stafford Springs, Connecticut, where Dorsey will be going on Saturday, I believe. Right?
Yes, Saturday afternoon.
And also, I don't know if you noticed, but you're getting the regular Monster Trucks Live version.
Yes, I did know that.
Must
It's
be
gonna,
nice.
it's gonna be hard to do a fire, or sorry, what is it? Glow and fire?
Glow and fire.
Yeah, out
or
in the
neon
open.
show, whatever. Yeah.
Not if you burn down the
Okay.
venue. Sorry.
So Lineup includes Cody Holman, 5 Alarm, Eric Steinberg, Bigfoot 50th, Steve Sims making his return with Bone Shaker, and then Cody Smith with Gunkster. Steven Sims Jr. also making the returns. Big returns for both the Sims family, with, of course, Jr. driving Megarex. Devin Wheeler will be driving Skelosaurus, and Kyle Sizemore, Tiger Shark. Cali Spelled Montana will be having the No Limit Monster Trucks, of course, with American Soldier, Anthony Ritter, Controlled Chaos, Justin Elliott, Double Trouble, Travis Groth. Dragon Slayer making its return debut this weekend with Caden Morris. Monster Moose, Ryan Robinson, the veteran with Tyler Groth. And then, of course, we have Straight Up Racing in Coos Bay, Oregon. KSR Motorsports in Berlin, New Jersey. Bad News Charles Fast, Brandon Duro, Crime Time, Brittany Ames. Culture Shock, Preston Perez, Hurricane Force, Steve Thompson. Killer B with Joe Jenkins. Monster Madness and Bible Hill, Nova Scotia, I believe it was. Helion, Dale Eve, Loudon, Derry, Perry Como, Rant Nasty, Ryan Como, Sabotage, Crystal Carey, Train Wreck with Matt Briand, Monster Truck Nitro, and Moses Lake Washington, Aftershock, Danny Hebert, Anubis, Jared Compton, Lone Wolf, Stanley Hernandez, Temporarily Insane, Donnie Hebert, and USA 1, Skylar King. Team Throttle Monster will be in St. Michael, North Dakota. Right now listed, they have Dalton Widener and Jurassic Attack, and Mike Christensen with Vendetta. They have 2 more trucks with them. We'll find out because Team Throttle, I literally 4 trucks in Team Throttle Monster will be in Daytona this weekend. Overdrive Monster Trucks in Indianapolis, Indiana. Lineup includes Blockhead Darren Basil, Dirt Crew David Alford, High Roller 3 Colton Kaiser, Virginia Giant Cliff Val, Monster Trucks Maniac in Roswell, New Mexico. Bustin' Loose, Alan Pizzo, Crazy Heifer, Miranda Riley, King Crunch, Dylan Finley, Pouncer, Alan Pizzo, Predator, and Brandon Pizzo, and then Monster Truck Bash in Woodsfield, Ohio. Amped Up, Brian Holman, Godzilla, TBA, Rescue Racer, Josh Holman, and then another truck in the lineup under TBA. Full Throttle Monster Trucks, New Berlin, Illinois. Bigfoot with Roger Gager, Funky Monkey, Jasmine Borders, High Roller 3, Colton Kaiser, and Monkey Business with Thomas Borders. Monster Spectacular, Barry, Ontario. Black Stallion, Mike Waters Sr., Higher Education, Chris De Hoyos. Overkill Evolution, Mike Waters Jr., and Superfoot with Daniel Donnelly. And same lineup will also be in Windsor, Ontario, literally the day before. Of course, Windsor is the 14th, and the show after is the 15th. Toledo, Ohio, Backdraft, Kyle Seasock. And this one is big. This is, I swear for everyone, this is the biggest review and last one of this episode. Now, of course, that is the 2-time World Finals champion, John Seasock, of course, who used to drive Batman, Advanced Auto Parts Grinder, and a few other names. Back behind the wheel on the Mother Girl Camouflage for this weekend. How are you guys feeling about this return? This announcement was so sudden.
Well, it is absolutely insane to say the least. All right, next.
It caught me by surprise.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting the return of 2-time World Finals racing champion John Seasock to be back.
Our goats, which was so sudden and was impactful. Quad Chaos, Paul Strong, USA 1, Kayla Savage, and then we also have Insanity in Haley, Idaho, Bigfoot, Josh Baumgartner, Hillbilly, Tim Manchester, Insanity Truck with Brandon Swick, Red Attack, Jacob Ladwig, Tulsa, Oklahoma will be hosting 2X Monster Trucks with Bounty Hunter, Jimmy Green, Jacqueline Hyde, Corey Kino, Ronan Rex, Logan Tweedy, Shark Bite with Dan Dahlgren, Monster Truck Throwdown in Escanaba, Michigan, with Frostbite, Kylie Kent, The Haymaker, Brett Falvey, High Tide, Elliot Miller, Lumis Dangerous with Athena Kozel, and then we also have Renegade Monster Trucks with Dorsey also going on the 15th. Your lineup includes Kamikaze Cliff Turner, Loudon Derry Perry Como, Rant Nasty Ryan Como, Stinger and Loose CJ 2, Velociraptor Carson Williams, and War Wizard with RJ Turner. Erie, Pennsylvania will be hosting All-Star Monster Truck with Cyber Attack Jared Smith, Dirt Crew Jerry Beck, Crazy Train Trent Robbins, Playing Crazy Montana Robbins, Terminal Velocity John Zimmer Jr., and Uproar with John Zimmer Sr., who will be returning the normal hood. I know. Which, talking about Uproar, he will be returning the normal hood. Or it did just already return, brought back the normal hood after the one time with the mouth hood, which was weird. One other show that they don't have listed here, I'll text them here in a bit. The Colorado National Speedway is hosting their own show called the Father's Day Super Sunday Show. Of course, this will feature, I don't know the drivers who are listed. They don't really list the drivers, they only list the trucks. So, as far as I know, or as listed, they will have Avenger either under Jim or Chris. We also have Brutus. They could be under Joe or John. We also have Velociraptor. Obviously, this will be Devin Winfield. Jurassic Tech. This could be Tim Hall Jr. If not, I really think it's Tim Hall, which awesome to see that guy. Honestly, if he is there, if it is Dalton, I will give a quick shout out to Nafagen to make sure. I'll make sure I'll do that. We also have Kamikaze. Pretty sure Bird Trevino will be behind the wheel, and then another one was Rockwell Red, and I believe Alex Barton will be behind the wheel.
Dude,
so
I'm
pretty
jealous.
awesome lineup.
That's all.
Pretty
That's
awesome
an awesome
lineup.
lineup.
Pretty awesome lineup for a Father's Day show. No other way, and at a speedway of all places.
Is it just one show or are there two?
Just one, dude. It's Father's Day.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I thought it was like a weekend of
No.
shows.
They only do one. It's always on the Sunday too. But awesome lineup as always. This was last year's lineup as well, except for Don Weiner was there, and I did not get to go, sadly, because I had to work. But this year I won't have to work Father's Day, so I'm even more excited about it. So I will. I hope it will be there. But awesome lineup nonetheless. Other than that, those are the shows we have for this upcoming weekend. Anything else we got to talk about before we go?
Don't think so. I'm excited for this weekend. And yeah, something that Zachary said earlier, I'm excited to see two different shows that aren't Monster Jam.
All right, and that will just about do it from us here. Don't forget to follow STSL Off the Track. I just made a few new posts on the account. Don't forget to listen to us on Spotify. Don't forget to follow STSL at Steel Time Sports League
I saw
on
you
YouTube,
just liked my
Instagram.
post on Instagram.
Thanks. You're welcome, by the way.
Thanks.
And don't forget to get some merch that will be provided down in the links below and from the live stream on Dorsey's. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time. And from us here from Nafagen, Dorsey, and Zachary, I'm Lane Flores. We'll see you back next time for some more Monster Trucks.
Cocked, locked, and ready to rock.